Okay, so this is a walkthrough of the sprinkler demo I created over Monday night, I think. So the pipeline was synthetic sprinkler data goes in, SLICC interprets it into a content calendar, and then SLICC authors the top priority post in Adobe Express. So it mostly worked, but there were three moments where it really surprised me. So the first thing is I needed a brand, so I built a fictional one. Petite Soleil is a luxury baby mineral sunscreen. It's a fake brand to give me full creative control and zero client data risk, but the segment was a strategic choice. So, moms of children under 5 are one of the most densely networked, most active audiences on social media. So, if you want to test whether an agent can find real signals in social data, you want an audience that actually generates them through peer recommendations, ingredient anxiety, seasonal spikes, and this segment has all of it. And one channel matters more than people expect, Pinterest. So the Pinterest audience skews heavily towards suburban women with high purchase intent. For a baby skincare brand, that's not a nice to have channel, that's the channel. So hold that thought because Pinterest comes back at the end. My original architecture had a third tool in it, which was Node Excel. It's a genuinely great network analysis tool. It can find community structure and bridge influencers in ways a flat data export never will. And this audience is a social network. It is a community, so it seemed perfect. But here's what I found building the MVP is Node Excel added a layer of complexity the demo just didn't need yet. Every tool in a demo pipeline has to earn its place, and for the core story, data in, calendar out, creative out, it was a detour. So I simplified. I generated synthetic sprinkler data, social listening data with Claude Opus across the 4 prioritized channels: Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Pinterest, and I uploaded the Excel into a fresh Airtable base. I'd argue the cut is part of the lesson, so scoping an MVP is itself a design decision. The tool roster shrank and the demo got stronger. Now, I pointed SLICC at the Airtable base with one job: analyze the social listening data and build me a content calendar. The first thing I didn't expect was SLICC issued itself a personal access token to Airtable. I didn't get to set up the credential handoff, although I did kind of give it the access token when I realized it was stuck on that. I was like, whatever, let's just do it. So the agent decided it needed to write access, and then it went and got it, and then it got to work. And by get to work, I mean it wrote somewhere between 250 and 300 calendar entries. Let's see if this loads because it also kind of blew some of my rate limits in the process. 1 second. See what happens. So it was a full quarter plus of content, every entry traced back to a signal in the data, which sounds great until you think about runtime and cost. So lesson number 1, and I want to be honest about this because it's where the real learning is, unbounded agents do unbounded work. Next run, I'm scoping the prompt to 2 weeks of calendar and call it like 25 entries. Yeah, so this just goes on forever. Same proof point, fraction of the time and spend. If you need one operational takeaway from this talk, agents need scope the way interns need job descriptions. So now the calendar was done and I had to ask, can the agent actually make something? So I set up first. Taking my HTML site that I generated for my fake brand, I logged into Adobe Express and I built the Petite Soleil brand kit. So I used this beta auto import here, extract brand from upload. And I just took a rough screenshot of the homepage with Chrome DevTools, uploaded it into brand kits, and let Express extract the brand automatically. So I had colors, type, the whole visual identity pulled from one screenshot. And then I gave SLICC a new skill and a new prompt. I said, go into your own content calendar, the one you just wrote, pick the single highest priority Pinterest post and build it. Here's the next surprise. The SLICC didn't start authoring, it started auditing. Before touching the canvas, it compared the brand kit in Express to the HTML of the Petite Soleil homepage, and it caught a defect. The brand font hadn't transferred in with the auto import. So unprompted, it identified the correct font, installed it, and updated the brand kit. And then it started creating and authoring the post. So I want to sit on this for a second because it's the difference between an agent that executes and an agent that verifies its inputs before executing. Nobody told it to QA the brand kit. It treated brand fidelity as a precondition, not as an afterthought. And in a world where brand governance is the number one reason marketing teams don't trust automation, that behavior is a headline. So it started authoring, it created the creative for its own prioritized entry, and it's here, but I stopped it because honestly, API costs hit about $50. I do one API key per demo. And when I saw it got up to $50, I'm like, as the budget approver on this particular project, I'm going to stop it here. So I don't count that as a failure. It's a second operational lesson, which is I need to choose the budget and be prescriptive the way I choose the scope for the agent. So cost guardrails aren't a nice to have, they're a launch requirement. A scoped prompt and a spend ceiling would have gotten the same demo across the finish line for a fraction of the cost. So where does this all go? The Sprinkler dataset is still full of unmined use cases. There's different signal types, different channels, different agent jobs sitting in the same data. The pattern itself, listen, plan, author, verified, generalizes well past social content. And there's Node Excel as well. And the build list for round 2 writes itself, tighter scoping, budget guardrails, and pushing the run all the way through to a published post. One agent took social listening data, planned a quarter of content, caught a brand defect I didn't know existed, and started designing. And the handoffs we've always assumed need a human in the middle. Some of them just need a better prompt. So thank you. Let me know if you have any questions. If you want to see any of the files from Terminal, it didn't preserve the chat window, but I've still got everything that's under batches in my temp files. If you want any of them, just let me know. Thank you.